There's going to be. Okay, I just finished recording something. When I'm speaking, I can't hear it very well. It's on again right after I turn off my recording. I just did 10 minutes of, God, I would have been having a problem because I would have been spending a lot of time with Ramona, and then those other two and Art would have been pissed at me because Ramona's hotter than all of them put together. And since she's dead, I guess it's safe. But I can see why that one doesn't want to say, "Hey, I told Art's wife, and then killed her, all about you." Like, this is not what. No, she's quite capable of being jealous. Now, I may have fixed. Fingers crossed. I think I've legitimately fixed the flaw that the MK Ultra program had, where people went. Beep! That's not to say that they're going to be any better at being fucked off mind slaves. But I did find that there was a problem in that they couldn't be. Apparently, the protocol is to torture a baby, and both of those women were definitely tortured as babies. And then the torture they did to me was the kind of torture that a baby would remember. I think Tammy pinched my anal sphincter. Hi, it's Jack. I'm listening to the noise that is made when the Internet of Things broadcast comes through the speakers that are embedded in the whatever the wireless device is that makes it so that the refrigerators and the plumbing supplies, they call it the IoT, the Internet of Things. Here's what happens. When people listen to other people through this medium exchange, people can be surveilled through that. There was an air conditioning unit. No, air filter. It was about like 3 feet tall, and I had it at my house for quite a while. And I used it to help Jewel. Jewel had asthma, which is weird for a cat. She had medicine for. She'd take medicine every day. God, what a pain in the ass it was. Oh, I had to get Jewel her medicine. Fuck. It's like having a baby that you can't fuck. How annoying. Sorry. Anyway, I love Jewel, but she's a lot more fun to be around now that she's dead. Where was I? Dead cats. Dead cats have been a thing that happens. Apparently, when my father was conscripted by he told me that he had a cat and it died because the soldiers killed it. They raped his mother and killed his cat and took him away to the army. The Soviet Red Army. So I don't need to hear any shit about how terrible it is here at the fucking haunted church and how I can't be a paladin. I have some experience with forced military conscription, both ways. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, so when I decide to turn on the microphone and I talk about tomorrow, when I talk about her, the whole fucking world stops and listens to it live. They can do that. Like right now, I don't hear Art Bell at all. Hi, Art. Art is alive on another plane of reality. That is how the world works. They call it heaven, whatever. When you die here, you don't usually. Yeah. Okay. So he's. Did he really do that? Wow. So Art Bell is in a place in the future or in this parallel timeline where it's basically heaven. He's alive. He does a show. You don't get to hear it. Or maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe, where would it be advertised? I don't know. I didn't believe it at first when I heard it because I forgot that I read about how the surveillance works. Remote viewing is an ability to look through quantum reality and see other timelines. I've listened to I've listened to Major Ed Dames. Ed whatever. There's some creepy stuff going on in the art world, but I don't care. I like Art. I listen to him every goddamn night that I possibly could, and I don't regret that at all. And I never got the chance to talk to him directly about November 14th, 1987. I don't think I need to. I think he knows plenty about it. I think he could tell me some things that would be interesting, but I don't know if the world needs to hear that story. I think it'd be better off for me to write a book and then tell the story. I think Art probably knew that. I think Art and Ramona spent shitloads of time talking to Tammy. I do. I don't know why the fuck they wouldn't. She's fascinating. I don't know what kind of special deal I had ever It's pretty fucking special now, isn't it? I don't doubt for a minute that they're talking about me now. Looking down from heaven. Holy shit, look at Jack go. How many of you know, how many of you are listening? There's like 12 of you, except there's not really 12. That's just how many people are shown to me on YouTube. There could be fucking thousands of them. Thousands. The target audience, the core audience of Art Bell's show was people in security services who like to fuck with people. They know how to get my content without revealing themselves, right? They borrow from a friend. I remember reading about people doing that kind of shit on Usenet. Like there'd be movies that are dropped like, hey, The Matrix just came out yesterday and now you can download it. I mean, that wasn't what people were supposed to do. But in the 90s, it was something that people did all the time, and they still do it all the time. I know how to do these kind of things. I remember when the Digital Millennium Copyright Act was being discussed, and it became implemented. And at that point, it became a federal crime, punishable by too goddamn many, for a person such as I to teach a child how to download anything. It's not that hard. I mean, it's a lot harder to figure out now when there's not everybody on the planet doing it all the time. Now people do it whenever they need to. And most people enjoy paying for content. I love to pay for content. I have not ever looked for her porn. I hear that I hear she's got an OnlyFans. I don't know where it is. When we, oh yeah, I'm going to fucking walk up to the fucking website and type in TLS. No, I don't, I don't actually care to see her porn. I'd rather make some with her, frankly. And then I don't care if she and Grapefruit are making porn. Well, that's okay. I would care. And then I consider the content that I'm creating tonight to be very pornographic because I'm talking about them both as if they're people that I have the right to know anything about. Fuck no! These women are usually in the shadows. I have shut their asses down. I beat them with a whip. I have asserted dominance over these women. They can't fucking handle it. They're out of their fucking minds. What do you mean he doesn't care? What do you mean he's not chasing after me? Well, shit, which direction? I call. I'm friendly. They don't want me calling and friendly and then fucking forgetting about him when I'm chasing another girl. They want me desperate to see him again. I'm not desperate. I will see them again. I don't give a what? Now we're in a hurry? Really? Okay. That's funny. I didn't know there was a hurry before. Oh, that's right. There wasn't. And I feel a little left out to know that I'm not. Oh, Art says it. Yeah, it happened all the time. I didn't get to hang out directly with either of those two. I don't think that she is Heather Wade. Maybe she is. I don't know. Cool. I know that one of them pitched a fit when I made a joke about going to visit Heather in Pahrump. Blah! And I was like, wow. I was just kidding. I would never have done that to her. I wouldn't have made that joke if I had known that... I would never have spoken lightly about it. Because I know exactly what would have happened if I had known she was alive. I thought she was dead. I literally thought she was dead. And if she faked her death and then was running around with Grapefruit while I was paying attention and they fucked like bunnies whenever I was out of town. Okay. That's I don't know why they didn't tell me. I mean, I don't know what that would have done. I probably would have wanted to, not hold hands, but, it would have made babysitting a lot more fun. There would have been more money for them to pay for their fucking kids. I wouldn't have had to hear this fucking bullshit story about this and this and this. I wouldn't have had to hear about all kinds of shit. Because it would have been a remarkably different experience. I would have been asked questions and I would have answered in an entirely different way because I wasn't entirely clear what was going on, but I was aware that I wasn't being told everything. And I was pretty sure I was being lied to when one of them said, well, my grandpappy was a 33-degree Mason, but I never looked into it. That's bullshit. For one thing, that's a code phrase I'd heard before. For another, I'm not a Mason. I didn't need to penetrate her secrets. the idea that they're secret rainbow girls. Well, fuck, no wonder I couldn't get along with them. But I don't know what the truth is. But the truth is that whenever I talk about these ladies, I feel a little embarrassed, which is better than total 1,000,000% embarrassment before. And I don't like the feeling of being embarrassed. I also really don't like the feeling of not knowing what to say in order so as to not embarrass anybody. See, I know there's some things I could say that would embarrass them right now because they're both listening to me right now. Why wouldn't they be? I'm talking about them. Yeah. And then I haven't uploaded it yet. That doesn't matter. This computer is, I'm not going to say it's hacked. It's dominated. I'm under control of the military. This is military jurisdiction land. Don't ask me how I know. This whole place where I'm at, it's super secure. This is the goddamn safest fucking approach I've ever seen in my life. And they broke the well. Yeah, I bet there's an easy way to turn it on. Yeah, they don't want me to have a well. If they did, they wouldn't have turned it off. This whole place, it's not like I'm fucking out here alone. There's fucking dudes with guns and bad attitudes all over. I'm right next to I can hop a fucking freight train in 10 minutes.
3, 2, 1, ignition.
Little bitch baby child fucking pink tote.
Astronaut. Exposed to inappropriate levels of solar energy.
Sunlight makes him the world's smartest man.
I know everything! I want that brain taken out.
Heat Vision. The motorcycle with the mind of Jack's unemployed roommate. Together they run for their lives, blocked at every turn by adventure.
Move out, don't mess around. Move out, you bring me down. Move out, I forget about, don't make the sound. Just move out.
Knowledge is power. For real.
I can't handle this.
I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, this is
All right.
So, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna pause you. I'm gonna pause you. All right.
Okay.
I love these people. All right, not these ones in particular. Not the one you just heard. I don't know them that well. Okay. For the most part, I love all kinds of people. One of the advantages to being completely alone for most of your life is that when it happens to you in the middle of it, when you have money and nothing else to do in a home and that much money, I can do whatever I want. Yeah, I can do whatever I want. And what I want to do is not piss off the security establishment. That would be good. It would be great if I did not run my mouth too much and get people killed. I would never wish to do that at all. I don't think that's fun. I don't think that's cool. It is incredibly hard to work in an undercover capacity. I happen to know this because for reasons I'm still a little unclear on, I have greater than the typically statistically likely average number of friends who work in security services. And when I say security services, I mean all of them, not just cops, not just. I don't know many judges at all. In fact, I don't think I know any. Oh, bullshit! I know a bunch, but I know that they're not going to tell me they're judges because that's not how it works. They don't reveal shit. No, they don't. Their lives, their lives depend on their confidentiality. There are people that they have done shit to in the past that they've forgotten about. Oh yeah, 10 years ago I sent that guy to jail and I shouldn't have, and then his wife killed herself, and you know. People have a way of carrying grudges. I don't blame them. It can happen. Cape Fear is a real movie. They did it twice. It's a fucking great movie. It's scary as fuck because I think the stuff that happens in real life can be even frightening. Although really nothing's frighteninger than Juliette Lewis being your daughter. So, what has happened recently that you may not, those of you who listen to the Jack Star Experience, thank you. You may not be aware that lots of people hear the Jack Star Experience through other means. And at one point, I was going to refer to this as the auspices of the Magic and Black, or the Magic and Broadcasting, or the MIB, because what's his nuts died? Rush Limbaugh. Remember the guy who took so many drugs that he made himself fucking deaf and had to get a Borg implant? Yeah, well, okay, so that's what can happen when a person abuses drugs. They fucking go deaf. I bet he didn't even know that. And then guess where he got the drugs from? A doctor Guess who probably did it on purpose? Somebody who used other drugs to control the doctor. Like, I don't really think that Rush Limbaugh is that stupid. And if somebody was telling him that it was okay, so he could get back to work, he might not have had time to sit on the internet for hours every night for most of his life, not talking to people and just running across random bits of information. And the fact that using a shitload of opiates will make you go deaf, he didn't know. Similarly, using a shitload of amphetamines will make it so you can't pee, or make it hard to pee. Also, having an inguinal mesh will sometimes, let's say, undergo a dissolution. Sometimes your plastic in your body will separate and fill your blood vessels in your groin with Play-Doh. I don't think that's happened to me, but and then sometimes the bone glue that they use to repair a fracture when you're 16, sometimes that'll be added to your shit, and then all of a sudden, hey, how come my hand hurts? And then sometimes a person is right with God and gets answers quickly. Other times they don't get answers at all. Sometimes the person will wonder, why the fuck is what's her nuts so pissed at me? Why the hell what was her problem? Okay, so hey, hi. I still always I've always liked you. I'm getting the picture of why you're so pissed. Or I mean, yeah, you're still pissed. I don't blame you. I'm still pissed too, as a matter of fact. I can't believe you thought I wanted to fuck you. No, see, it was supposed to work differently. I told you the deal. I said I would much rather be the last one than the first one. And then why the fuck would I want to fuck you once and then watch you go fuck somebody else and then see you go away? And then why would I want you to tell everybody that I sucked and then have the entire world hate me? Well, obviously, neither of us wanted that. And then why would you not recognize that other people were manipulating us both in order to cause strife? And why would you get into that? Oh, that's right, because you're a woman. You don't understand what it's like when you're a man. I mean, you had everybody telling you a whole bunch of bullshit. And then I had everybody completely ignoring me for the first 14 years of my life. I mean, like, not one fucking person talked to me when they got... people were not attracted to me. They didn't need to be. I couldn't breathe. I was an asshole. My father was an asshole. I lived in Piggy Town. I didn't know how to behave. There was nothing going for me. Everybody who tried to be friends with me failed. Okay? Now, I can understand how it was a nice thing in its contemplation. It's actually it has been a very generous thing to want to create a district-wide silent agreement that you were all going to help me. See, a conspiracy is something that's unlawful or meant to harm. That's why it's secret. Conspire. Con. Spire. Spire meaning point. Con meaning bad. Backstabbing. Conspiring. Okay. That is not what I think anybody meant to do for a long time. I think that over time it became something that people did because I think initially when the attempt was made to run a bunch of game on me that was meant to help me, people didn't really understand that I really don't like being lied to. I really don't. I really don't. I don't like it at all. It gets me real. It gets my dander up. It makes me real guarded. A lot of times people will be unwilling to hang around people after they've been beaten and abused and taken advantage of by people. Sometimes they'll get a little gun shy, right? I met a woman I would say months. Let's say I met her 3 months ago. She could tell that I was nice and that I wasn't going to deliberately harm her. She could just tell. I don't know how many of you still have a sense of empathy left, but sometimes people know things. And it's not because we're insane. It's because we pay attention and we're not fucked off little piggy douchebags who have their fucking sense of empathy burned out by fucking using these fucking drugs for the whole goddamn life. If you use the shit every day, starting from the age of 10, it has a long-term effect that's called you become emotionally numb. It happens. Azare being in denial of this fact and being a snotty douchebag. Well, he's had a different experience than me, And there's no reason why he should expect to have the same things that I do, since I'm 50 and not diagnosed with schizophrenia. He is, whatever the fuck he is, he's diagnosed. When a person gets a diagnosis, a lot of things can change. For one thing, the records never get wiped. Once a person has a diagnosis, it's there. And a person can request and say, hey, can you take this off my records? They don't give a shit. They take it off the part that you get to see. A person is typically not allowed to see all of their personal records. The reason for this is because people are liars and assholes and douchebags. And the medical system goes back to the founding of the caduceus, the staff with the snakes going around it, and the wings, and the Hippocratic Oath. Remember that one? Do no harm. Okay, well, that one's like thousands of years old. I think it was Aristotle. Yeah, Aristotle taught his students that in medicine, the trick that he thought the deal was to lie to the patient as much as possible. Don't tell the patient the truth about anything. They'll just fuck it up. So keep them in the dark, and then they'll figure out what works, and they won't get confused by your messages. And I suppose that was a great idea for pederasty proponents who like to engage in man-boy love and throw their armies of devoted followers against each other on the small part of the small peninsula, the Greek mainland, and then Crete. Like you had the dudes on the island, and you had the dudes on land, and they would fight back and forth because they had nothing to do besides build boats and fight each other after the Mediterranean flooded, kind of. That was a long time ago. And then today, it's not much different. Not much different. The doctors will lie to you about everything. Everything. They lie. They're trained to do that. I was curious, why do doctors lie so much? And I knew that I would one day get a chance to talk to a real doctor, which I never did before my parents died. Because once those fucking deadbeats got out of my way, everything changed. I could spend money on things that I wanted. I could do what I wanted. I didn't have to worry about losing them. I didn't have to worry about taking care of them. There have been those who were concerned that I was abusing my parents by taking advantage of their resources. Bullshit. I'm not going to complain because it was a very rewarding experience. But I took care of those morons a lot. I enabled them, as they say. My father, he had a lot of back pain. He had a lot of pain. I never scored my father drugs. He apparently had quite a taste for taking opioid pills and drinking alcohol with them. I had no idea it was as significant as it was, because my mother one day said, "Michael, would you please go to the pharmacy and lie to the pharmacist?" And I'm like, "What? Like, are you serious? Is this a test? Are you insane?" And I said, "Well, why don't you go do that?" And she embarrassedly, I'd never seen her embarrassed before. She had to tell me why she needed someone else to go to the pharmacy and lie to the pharmacist. And as soon as she said to me, "I've already gone there and lied to him too many times." Oh my God! I was like, holy shit! Under my nose. Like, for it to be that bad that my mother, practically in tears, because she has to admit to me that she's been enabling her drug addict husband for, oh God, since before I was born, right? Okay, so that's embarrassing. I don't mean to laugh too much, but it was fucking funny as fuck. So, I didn't hear a whole lot of shit from my parents about drug use at that point, but they were 79, right? And then now I see fucking morons on the goddamn internet telling me that they think they fucking know what I need to do about whatever the fuck I'm doing. No, they don't need to tell me that at all. And the reason why they're doing that at all is because they don't know what the fuck else to do. They're all cops. Who else is paying attention to me? Cop. They fucking arrest me on Christmas. Since then, they haven't been able to accomplish jack or shit. I would help them, but the trouble is that the truth is, I didn't need to be arrested. They got played. Somebody fed the court a whole shitload of false information. And most of them, were people who were manipulated by others that were outside the country. I was on Facebook yesterday in Seattle. I took a world tour. I was talking to somebody else, and all of a sudden, I find myself having a telepathic conversation with some rice-burning chink in the Chinese security services. I swear to Christ, I'm on a phone that has a whole bunch of I'm going to say viruses. I have had a lot of investigations into me, and when I destroyed, brought the hammer down on the MK Ultra project, it wasn't on purpose. Like, I did not deliberately try to find a covert asset and open her up to the world and break her and then have her removed from me and then run around and laugh. I did not try to do that. I didn't know she was what she was. I don't know what the fuck she is now. I sort of have. Here's what I know. She was something special, and I didn't. I don't want to say fall for it. I didn't prove to be weak or susceptible or typical. Okay. She used to be a big deal, and she's still a big deal, especially since she's still alive. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to embarrass anybody, but let me put it this way. She told me that she had had troubles in her family, conflicts. Not surprising. They're all fucking Popeye the Sailor Man. I mean that with no disrespect. I love the military individuals that I've ever met. I've never met a guy who was in the military that I didn't like. I mean, a couple of them were kind of like rude and brusque and were cranky and were pissy with me. That's just a bad attitude that sometimes people have. A military person will typically respond well to respect. I don't know how to respect some people. Like one time I called a guy sir. He said, "Don't call me sir, I work for a living." And that doesn't make any sense at all to me. It did about 90 seconds later, because I asked somebody, say, "Well, what do you mean?" And then somebody mumbled a few words, because I was friends with somebody who knew goddamn well I wasn't in the military. And he also knew that I didn't know that he was in the military. And he didn't want to tell me that he was a member of the Jesuit order, because he knew that I would have said, "Wow, cool, tell me all about it." And typically military secrets, they don't want to blab about them at a fucking gas station to a fucked off idiot kid like me that I appear to be. Just because I'm not a fucked off idiot kid doesn't mean I have license to ask annoying questions in public. However, it's one of my favorite things to do. "Oh yeah, tell me all about it. George Noyes a Mason? Oh no, he's not. What is he? Wow, Jesuits, how do you spell that?" I don't have any fucking problem saying that at all. I didn't before when my parents were alive. If somebody had said to me, "Stop talking about that shit, kid, or we'll kill your parents," I would have said, "Cool, where's the volume?" Not because I wanted my parents to die. Just I don't respond well to bullying. At all. At all. Okay? Now, that's okay for everybody today. It's going to keep on being okay, because I've been aware of this tendency of myself for some time. I don't fucking like getting pushed around. And the people who have been pushing me around, they know that now. Okay? I don't think you're going to see it on the 11 o'clock news. I don't want it to be. I'm not broadcasting shit live very often. I'm not desperately trying to. I'm not talking about how my free speech is being suppressed. It should be. I goddamn know a lot of shit that I shouldn't be talking about. It's not like they can just say, "Okay, well, Jack Star means well. We'll just leave him alone, and then he can talk." That's not how the world works. I know how the world works to some extent. I know how it works a lot better than Julian Assange. I mean, I thought it was kind of lame that he was in that situation, but I figured, well, he must have done something to piss somebody off. And he fucking well did. I don't know the details at all. I don't need to. I don't give a shit. He's an asshole. Edward Snowden, less of an asshole. I remember when that story broke. I was speaking with a friend of mine who, I'm not going to say was an undercover thuggy piggy. She's not. Right? There's so many different kinds of reasons why a person could be clandestine. I have no fucking idea what they are, and I'm not going to talk about what I know, because that's simply not done. Like, It's not. I mean, if I know anything at all, it's because I was allowed to live after seeing something. Okay, I'm not going to repay that kindness by running my yap overly. Now, what I have done is been told the wrong way to stop talking about stuff. Most notably, when I was getting my competency evaluation done. So the prosecutor, or whatever, whoever the fuck was working at the Hall of Justice, he was under the impression that he needed to yell at me, and that was going to help him any. He's on video on Irish's channel. Right after I talk about the lingerie, Mr. Cozy. Do you remember that? I should download that and play that and make it a soundboard. Mr. Cozy, as if I give a fucking shit what this fucking guy has to say. What is he, my fucking dad? What's he gonna do? Not help me so much? Fuck you, buddy. I don't care that he's a prosecutor, I don't care that he's a lawyer who's pretending to defend me. He wasn't defending me for shit. He was fucking trying to sell me out. That's why he, I'm told he was resigned from his position and fled to another state where they had to go down and get him and bring him back and put him up on charges. I swear to God, that's what. I don't know if that's truly happening. I discovered that the court doesn't usually tell the truth to people that it's got it. Yeah, they can lie. They don't mind. Fuck, they love it. And just because I'm clergy and innocent, it doesn't mean they can't lie to me. I mean, fuck, if somebody lies to me and they commit fraud on me and I can prove damages and I take them to court and I get a judgment and I get money back, fuck, I've still been lied to, right? There's I don't need vindication from another fucking court that lies. I don't need to sit and do all this fucking work and blah, 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 blah. I have different situations, okay? Now, I don't know what the hell that woman did, but she sure pissed off somebody. Oh, okay. No, it wasn't my idea. Okay. I don't blame anybody out of the two people I listed. I don't blame them for being mad at me. They were both pretty mad, and they had madness to spread around for everybody. I would have been mad too, and especially mad in that I fucking warned them both and they ignored me and laughed at me. I don't carry a grudge. At the time, I was crestfallen. I'm not going to say heartbroken because I didn't know what the deal was. It seemed like I should have been heartbroken. I'm not. I don't talk to either of them right now for obvious reasons. One of them, no contact situation, and is currently she needs to show up and testify after swearing an oath. She has to show up in person and survive the bursting into flames of swearing she'll tell the whole truth, and then she has to tell the whole truth. Oh God, I want to hear it. Oh, I do. From my point of view, the whole situation is a net positive because she was going to be killed, dead, murdered. That can happen. And then I was supposed to be blamed for it. And that didn't happen. She's alive somewhere. I'm alive here. Big deal. I'm facing charge. Doesn't matter. That's fine. I would be happy to go to jail for a year if that's what it took to keep her alive. Because I hung around the family for a while. I still know them. I don't talk to them now because they're busy. And I don't have much to say besides, woo, I saved the world, yay! They didn't see it that way. Okay? They had a difference of opinion. They would have preferred to have remained in control of their situation, and they probably still feel a little stupid that they thought that a good idea was to fucking lie to me and put me in goddamn prison. It's not. I didn't want to go to prison. They wanted to be there. And typically, enforcer-type families, they usually get to decide what happens in their world. Usually. In their case, they don't get to decide shit about my life at all. One of their daughters expressed wishes about how she wanted things to be to me, and I took her words under advisement. I'm not going to say I cherry-picked because it's not like that, but she's not the boss of me. She never was. Will never be. I'm a man. I wasn't looking for a woman to boss me around, and she did not have the requisite belief in herself to understand that I wasn't hanging around with her because I was full of shit. I do love her. She's fabulous. She's alive. That doesn't mean I get to go be with her again. Okay? Here's the story. There's this other guy who, before I met her, grew up with her. They're lifelong friends. I didn't know that. They lied to me. Fine. They didn't have to tell me the truth. Now, I did mention that there are special consequences for lying to clergy. And in my case, most special. But I'm not mad at them for doing that. I figured out pretty quick. Oh, they got something going on. And one of the reasons why I've lived to be as long as I am lived is that I've learned not to ask too many goddamn questions at certain times. I've definitely also learned that if I don't feel like I should stop and some little bitch-ass boy starts fucking screaming at me or acting like he's in charge of shit, I don't have to punch him in the face. I can just go about my life. I usually don't want to punch him in the face. At first I was confused. I wanted to say to him, excuse me, what is it that makes you think you can talk to me that way? The answer to that question has a lot of answers. It could be that they're a secret thuggy piggy. And I say thuggy piggy. It's fun. It's fun to say. It reminds me of Miss Piggy. Remember Miss Piggy was... She would always be threatening violence. She was an undercover pig. That's why she's a pig. And the pig's in love with the frog. The frog is French. Or whatever. It's a story of a frog in love with a cop. And then... Christ, the security services have been... It's not that they infiltrate humanity. That's how it works. Enforcers don't run around always saying who they are. Otherwise, nobody talks to them. People don't like them. Cops will take your weed. Cops will rat you out to the IRS. That's their job. They're like a different species. They live in society, but they're not part of society. And they're trained from birth to fucking shake people down. You didn't know that? Okay, well. Educators are a similar type group. Nobody really understands how a principal works. Nobody really understands what teachers do unless you're a teacher. Okay? I dated a teacher. Oh my God, she thought she was so much smarter than me. I don't think she was necessarily smarter than me. But I didn't think that she needed to be so concerned about it because perhaps I would be able to respond more intelligently if everything she told me hadn't been a lie. Okay. This has happened a lot. I notice that if I don't lie and someone does lie to me and they think that I bought it and I don't hate them, sometimes there's this cool explosion at the end. I don't, that's not why I'm friends with people. Okay. That would be rude to do. That's like Munchausen. Okay. I gotta find somebody who's going to be really upset when they discover that I don't give a shit that they're a secret, whatever. I mean, that's not at all how I am at all. And my hand to God, until that woman called police, until that woman picked the phone and called, I don't know who, I had no idea that this kind of thing was her. I thought something else entirely. I was not misled, but I didn't want to think about it because I didn't give a shit what her job was. I love her then. I still love her now. It never occurred to me that she would be so delightedly happy to tell me lie after lie after lie. Honey, why do we have to live here? Honey, why about this? Why am I giving money to this kid? Why is your son hitting me and I'm not calling the police? Why is it okay for the? Yeah, I mean, she believed that she was doing the right thing. On a couple of occasions, she was mistaken. For example, she thought it would be a good idea to ignore me when I said, I'm not looking to meet your children. I just want to fuck you for a year. Okay, so that didn't work for her. I didn't put it that way anyway. Truth is, I was happy to meet her children. I didn't really feel like rushing into it because I didn't really feel like having a jump off the high dive platform into a swimming pool filled with sharks. However, I must say this. I love it. I love the family. I hope that I'm able to get some semblance of a normal thing going together. I already do. The fact that I'm not able to talk to them and there's a thing hanging out, that's nothing in the world. Nothing at all. That shit happens all the time. I have a friend that I don't really miss because she's not that smart. And she likes to take coke and fuck, which I shouldn't necessarily know, but I figured it out. Never done that with her. If I had told you who she was and then said, hey, so-and-so likes to take coke and fuck. No, that's not cool. Especially since I happen to know that so-and-so is a person who has connection to the secret training people, and then that person. Yeah, see, I shouldn't even say that I know this kind of thing goes on, because that's a security flaw that doesn't gain me anything, except it kind of does. At this age, I'm 50. I started to wonder, why are they all, why? They can't, every person in my entire life who likes me is somebody who has been paid to talk to me and then actually liked me and stuck around. Nobody else is friends with me. People just do not find themselves drawn to spend time with me, given that I'm incredibly intelligent, refuse to spend money on them, want to fuck them, don't want to have children, and somehow I'm not fornicating. A lot of people have just thought that was kind of weird. Like, they've been trained to think, okay, so he's a man. That means he's going to want to fuck me, and it means I can't trust him, and it means he's going to pay for everything, and if he doesn't, I'm going to treat him like shit until he goes away. That worked for the first few years. That's not how we do things anymore in my life. Okay, I was kind of wondering about what I was doing wrong before. Here's what I was doing wrong. I was completely discounting the possibility that I only like people in authority because I'm in authority. I never saw that in aspects of myself, because I don't wish to give power of myself over others. But then COVID happened, and I started saying things like, "It's my goal to seize political power in the wake of the COVID apocalypse." That's a fun thing to say. It's an even more fun thing to have done. I did not anticipate it would be so easy, and then I didn't want a whole lot of it, and I didn't even want to get it. And then it's not like I wanted to run for office or anything, or I wanted to take over the world. But I was thinking, if we went full Mad Max, just give us the gas, we spare you the lives. I would be the guy who has Master Blaster on the dance card. I wouldn't be the puny midget. I would find a puny midget, and I would put him in the captain's chair, and then I would talk to him through a device of my invention, and then he would be able to hear my voice through the bone induction microphone, and then he would say things that I say. I would be like Rubini. That's what I would be doing if it was that. Just give us the gas, we spare your lives. Okay, well, they should have given me some speed, and then I would have been happier.
What? What are you talking about?
Seriously. When I first became aware that the actual Art Bell knew who the fuck I was at all, I was floored. I was jaw dropped wide open, staring at the screen. I won't tell you how I knew. I don't even remember how long ago it was. It was a long time ago. And it never occurred to me that meant that somebody must have told him about me. And it never occurred to me that I knew exactly who must have done that. Thanks. I still don't live in the world where a person has a secret life and they live a double life, and they tell one story to one person, another story to another person, and they don't have a backup plan already available for what's going to happen when they find out. And then they get laughed at. I mean, I got laughed at from a very early age, but not everybody has that experience. Honey, how are you embarrassed? You shouldn't be embarrassed. Oh, and by the way, I have a tirade that I recorded. I'm gonna put it up on the thing. Yeah. And then that woman that you like so much, she was so mad that I didn't help her keep you from losing her when the other guy did whatever. She was so mad that she lost her secret girlfriend, and she couldn't tell me because then she felt like she would have been in trouble for having hidden her secret girlfriend. However, I was okay that was a possibility, and in fact, the entire time I assumed you were secretly doing it. Secret. I didn't ask. It wasn't my area. Nobody was asking. It didn't seem like I was invited. I wasn't. It seemed like most beautiful lesbianas, your experience may well have been that guys follow you around and sniff after you and want to get in you, and sometimes are really annoying. Okay, I didn't think that was likely to happen with me, right? I figured if you ever wanted to fucking talk to me ever again about anything, you would put your big girl pants on and say, "Hi, I need to tell you why this happened." To this day, that has not happened. Hi, it's okay. It doesn't even need to. You don't need to have sex with me. I didn't even want to do that way. I wanted to be whatever I wanted. I was young. I know you're young. I did think that you were old enough not to have to do it the way you did, but didn't know anything that I know now, and I also still will never know the pressures you were under. I'm not a girl who's the most beautiful girl in school. You were, probably are. I don't know. Haven't seen you much. I still think that I don't know what the fuck happened, but I do know that I have not been told anything by the other parties involved, which I must say, it's the fucking coolest thing in the world. It's so awesome. Obviously, it must be something badass if I can't be told. I wasn't that bad. Holy shit. And when I found out why the fuck I was so crap as a human being, not just with you, the nostril thing, it's a big fucking deal. It was. It made a huge difference in my life. And on top of that, the fact that I had no idea why the fuck my nose was, well, no, it wasn't with that. Why didn't I have the ability to run around and play? Oh, I couldn't breathe. That makes sense. Now, if I had known there was a reason that made sense, I would have been inclined to get up and try to run around. And nothing I could have done would have ever made up for the fact that I wasn't fucking getting air. Well, we would run a fucking central line with high pressure oxygen, like make me into an air drill, right? By the way, Grapefruit's upset. Yeah. So when I found out for sure, like I wasn't suspicious. I was like, oh, that actually happened. I was temporarily stunned, but generally really happy for you both. That's cool. I remember thinking to myself, are they really carrying on without me knowing and thinking that's a good idea? Are they really doing that? Wow, fuck, I guess they are. Since I know a bit more about human psychology than either of you, and I know this because I've read books about it, whereas you've actually met people, and people are very distracting from reality. In the aggregate, people are never really that way. Like, all the people that I met in the last 7 years who didn't know that I instantly made them for cops, or rather, badges. Cop means that they take a bribe. Not every police officer is you probably know this, right? A cop does not mean that they have copper hair. Having copper hair doesn't mean they'll take a bribe. However, historically, the Irish were made cops, and they were used to patrol the Scottish because the Irish, they live on an island that's smaller and over to the west of Britain. And the people who live in Britain, at many times, were very rambunctious and hard to control. So who better to maintain the fist of dominant order over a bunch of fucking skeevy barbarians wearing fucking dresses than other barbarians that are on a smaller island that can be controlled more, I'm going to say, tyrannically by the people who control the ships. See if a person control a person. If you're the queen and you have ships and you have crazy people on the island, okay, you get your loyalists off the island and then you bring them back with bigger guns and you capture them and you mind control them into being guardians, and then you guard the other ruffians. Hi, this is Jack. This is 5 Minutes with Jack Star talking to his old girlfriend. Excuse me. His former homecoming date. Look, you're not old. You're not old. And then she's still a girl to me. Look. There's no longer any nervousness about talking to this woman. Okay? She's been hiding from me for 25 years. Literally hiding from talking to me. She has run. She has fled the scene of battle. I show up. Oh my God, I gotta go. Now, it feels. I don't exult in that. It feels weird. She called. I'm pretty sure it was her. She called. I pick up the phone. I'm like, hello. There's a woman that sounds like her, but not like any of the other 12 or 22 women that I've dealt with that sounded like her. And she says hi, and she's happy. Fuck, I sounded just like her. And then I started babbling like an idiot and hung up. This has happened 8 or 9 times since I found out that she's still alive. Okay? It's fucking weird. It has something to do with the fact that there are certain harsh truths that I don't want to admit out loud. In case there's anybody left on the planet that doesn't fucking know, things. And this is also further complicated by the way I don't fully understand the nature of the timeline thing and the holographic reality and the multidimensional reality and the time traveling interdimensional plane. I've seen portals. I've seen a goddamn space squid with tentacles fucking hanging out by the chandelier in my bedroom, waiting for me to fall asleep so it could fucking attack me and suck my energy. And it did. And I got shields and I woke up and shoved it off and then I said, please don't do that. It was a new one. I swear to God, that's a true story. I got shields for a reason. And they fucking work. And those, I didn't even develop that shield for alien space squids. Do I sound crazy? You're goddamn right, yeah. Now, I wasn't trying to get on the Art Bell show, ever. I never heard of it until it was already a thing. I would have loved it when he was talking about politics before, I think, and then to have been there when he launched the... Hi, I'm Sean David Williams. What's his name? Michael David. All those dudes with 3 names. Have you noticed that? Sean Patrick Flannery. You know, what's the guy who got all fat? The guy who was like, oh, I'm meditating in my bunker and I'm learning all this stuff from the Tibetan overlords and blah blah blah. It sounds like total bullshit. Here's the part I focused on. Here's this guy. He's going to college through astral travel. It's perfect for me. I don't want to get out of bed. I want to go to college. I want to learn how to do cool shit to impress. Hi, I'll get back to you in a second. I want to impress these women. Now that I know there's 2 of them, hot damn! I want to take them both to the movies, and probably not do anything else because I'm not the kind of guy who wants to impose his will on 2 total lesbos. Nothing wrong with being a lesbo. I guess perhaps there have been those in the past who have been disappointed that I did not. Either give a shit what they thought would have called them. What am I supposed to say? Women in contemplation. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say I like saying tootsles. Okay, and then this hasn't even come up yet. Nobody's come up to me and said, "Hey, Jack, what's the difference between a tootsles and a total lesbo?" As soon as somebody asks, I'm going to say, "I'm glad you brought that up. Can I record this conversation?" I don't see that the lesbianas are going to find that to be entirely compelling. Okay, never. I mean, okay, for one thing, I would only ever need one lesbiana. I would not at all want to serialize my lesbiana relationships. There's one down at the Winco. There's one. There's a bunch of them, okay? However, this one, I met her, and she was like orca fat. Like she was short and... We're talking like Augustus Gloop level, right? The kind of roly-poly that... They literally mean it. You got to roll her in the flour, except I don't. And then, still, I could tell that she was cute as fuck, definitely. And I could tell that she was a little bit intimidated because most people in town have heard that after Christmas, I floored it and started doing as much of what I wanted to do as I possibly could. Because what I wanted to do was make a demonstration while I had the opportunity. I don't think that I'm ever going to be allowed to live alone again. I'm clearly not good at living alone. And the people who are observing my behavior, they see that I'm not likely to change what I'm doing. And what am I doing? Buying drugs and taking them and talking shit on the internet. That's it. I'm not even playing with my Xbox. I want to. I like Elden Ring. I really do. Talking about my life is so much more fascinating. And I can play Elden Ring when there's people around and it's not invasive. I can't talk about this shit when there's people around. I get self-conscious. I can't talk live. I don't speak the same way live on YouTube as I do right now. Like right now, for one thing, I'm not going to lie. I'm high as balls. I like it. I like being high. Oh my God, how dare he? You're supposed to be so guilty. I'm fucking not. It's legal. I'm not doing it wrong. I sat around not doing any for long enough, all right? What am I doing? Am I too fucking young? Is it going to stunt my growth? Am I doing it wrong? Do I not have permission? Fuck you, bitch! Oh, excuse me. That was to Mrs. Dressay. I'm going to do what is appropriate for me to do. And what is exceptionally appropriate for me to do is, number one, demonstrate mastery. because now's the time to do it. Like, there's no one around. There's no one around. What's her face? She got pissed at me because she thought I was making things inconvenient for her. I wasn't willing to be a fucking babysitter doing nothing while she ran around having all the fucking fun in the world. Lights, party, camera, action. Here, stay home with the kids, Jack. Oh, you're going to drive 4 hours to get my kid back and forth? Great. While you're gone, I'm going to go to a house 20 minutes drive away where I'm going to have secret lesbian sex with the girl you went to high school with that I haven't told you about out loud ever. Now, everything about that was cool except for number one, it's kind of weird they were hiding it. And they weren't. I just didn't know there was that blatant. And then, I mean, everybody else, I'm sure they had other friends, right? Like they knew each other. And then number two, well, when do I get to have drugs? I mean, I didn't want to have lesbiana sex then. Now it sounds great. There's one eyeing me. And since I first met her, looks like she's clearly got back on the sauce because she's no longer roly-poly. She looks like she's oh God. It looks like she's trying to appear thinner because she is thinner, and I would say that she has shrunk down significantly. And I know what that means. It means that she saw me, and she was wondering what I'm all about, and I only talked to her twice. Honestly, a person doesn't really have to talk to somebody too long to figure certain things out. Wow, I don't know anything about you, but I want to fuck the life out of you. And you're a lesbo, so you're going to have lots of friends who are going to be disappointed by that. Because the thing is that they stick together, and they should, because women are social creatures. And it's not like I'm going to be attracted to the old battle axe dyke bones, right? If she's like 50 and got a growly voice, and, I'm not going to try and convert her. I'm not going to try and convert anybody. Conquering the lesbiana at all doesn't appeal to me. Even before I saw Chasing Amy, which is a great film. Such an underrated actress. I'm not even kidding. Now that woman, I don't have to convert. I'm sure she's bi. And then I didn't know any of this shit mattered so much. I had no idea. Until I found out that What's-Her-Nuts actually was telling people that she was... Okay. So until when I found out that there were multiple Tammys, multiple, because time loops and timelines, there's more than one fucking woman. It's weird. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. But the first thing I think is not, gotta catch them all. Shit, no. It's like, find a fucking rock to hide under. Have you met this woman? Well, probably you have. I don't know how many there are. I don't know how many live on my planet. I don't know if saying live on a planet is appropriate, because Earth is a realm, and there are multiple versions and timelines of Earth running. They're simultaneously layered on top of each other, and a person who knows how to do shit like I do, and isn't daunted by the way you fucking security people are really fucking rude when you tell people who know what they're talking about that they're fucking crazy. Because I'm not. I guess usually people are scared to talk about things like, UFOs or Sasquatch. Hey, Jake, you want to go Sasquatching? You fucking bastards on Bill Gab. You're all a bunch of fucking slimy little bitches. Except for the ones I like. I'm kidding. I actually like you the best. Yeah. I mean, considering. On the whole, you're all wonderful people. I really like Uncle Duke. But when I first started talking to him, it was nice. And then he pops up. As soon as I mentioned that I'd taken LSD, I could feel like... He instantly thought I was just proto-nigger. And I instantly thought he was an idiot, didn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And I didn't know why that was, but I did know that there was a certain... the United States government appears to have a certain prejudice against certain chemical compounds being used by the populace. I don't know if you know the history of drugs, but I do. And the reason why is because I was fascinated by the idea of being good at something that most people aren't good at. And I am. I have a very... I'm not going to say profitable. I have a very special set of awarenesses. I'm not going to say skill either. But just as a bomb disarmament technician can be in very high demand. I've never had to disarm a bomb, but if I did, I wouldn't take drugs first, and I wouldn't presume to know that I knew everything there was to know about bomb making just for reading a book, and I was with a woman for 5 years who fucking loves making bombs. She never suggested, hey, let's make bombs. Yeah, here's why. It's illegal to make bombs unless you got permission. And even if you have permission, it's fucking dangerous. It's literally dangerous. Like, bad shit can happen. Also, being an electrician. I'm more scared of electricity than I am of Tamara, actually. Or Tamara. Oh, God, Tamara. I like saying her name, but I've tried to shy away from that, given that I'm still kind of rocking and reeling from the way that she's still alive. Or is she? Is she dead? Okay. So humans can come alive back and forth, and I don't have to stay in the same universe as I was the day before. I can follow her around if she wants, because I don't have any friends that are unwilling to follow me, and then none of their people know me. Like, so I got this really good friend of mine. Don't talk to her right now. Don't talk to her. If I call, she's not going to answer the phone. I think she's married, or is her cover story, or there's three of them. One's married, one's a cover, and there's KGK. Now that I know the story with KGK, I can see why I can see why I shouldn't talk to her. But I also can not really see why they didn't tell me. But now it's not my area, right? But I met somebody a long time ago, and after a while, oh, that makes sense. No wonder she didn't want to, etc. Yeah, I'm not supposed to know these things, and technically, the fact that I know them at all, that I put two and two together over and over and over, and come up with a curated list of the hot and heavies all over town. And by town, I mean the Pacific Northwest. Most people don't have the accent. Most people don't know. Fuck, I know fucking everybody. No, I know them. I don't know people anymore. It's been a while since I've been able to have a conversation. And none of these people have any fucking idea if I'm the same one they met before or if I'm the new version that came in from another universe. They don't know what it's been like. It's been a struggle. None of them are very thrilled about the way that I defended my home and took it back from a Thuggy Piggy strike team that thought they were going to confiscate it. And I sat their asses down like I was handing them a goddamn salad dressing bar. Fuck you, buddy. It's my goddamn house. Huh? You're not in charge of what happens with the house. Yeah, see, I shouldn't lay it on too thick, okay? These are people with guns and have no problems killing people. I wouldn't say that everyone's like that, but I run with a pretty tough crowd, right? I mean, I don't have any doubt. I don't have any doubt that the dude who took that truck and lied to me, I don't have any doubt that he has killed people. None. I'm sure he has. He's probably not proud of it. I mean, well, no, he is. No, he's proud of it. Yeah. and I've learned not to ask people, hey, tell me about the times you killed people. It's not cool. Killing a person is it's a decisive act. Okay. And when I learned that it's not that hard to bring people back to life, I did not run around going killing people and bringing them back to life. No, that's not. It's not a sin, but it's a sign that a person is not on the path towards God. And I'm still not close enough. I want flying car. I want unlimited black budget credit card. I want cats that pop out of the portals in my room, so I can have cats that. I want cats to come with me, but I don't have to take them outside. I want to be able to open. I don't want to open a door for a cat. I want the cat to walk through a goddamn portal, not a wall. Yeah, I want my cats to go in and out, and then I want cats that can take out these fucking space squids, because I can see why people have been concerned about certain things. Oh, by the way, don't shoot meth, and then you've probably never seen real crystal meth. Any of you. You probably haven't. It's a big deal. Also, there's these permissions that can come from the divine. And by the divine, I mean angels, space brothers, people above the typical experience of reality. That's real shit. And somehow, it's possible for some space being to affect things on Earth. And one of the things that they affect on Earth is the potency of methamphetamine. How the fuck that works? I have an inkling of an understanding. I can't like close my eyes and meditate and turn off the world's meth. Some people can, right? You know those stories about the Taiwanese monks or the Fu Manchu guys where they slow down their heart rate and shit, or they go into bullet time when they're fighting. These are things that humans can do. Okay? I'm not real adept at that kind of thing. I can do some things too, and I do not feel bad anymore about announcing my superhuman status. It's not even that super paladin. It's not even that big a deal. I just have God and Jesus helping me a lot because I grew up alone a lot, and after everybody in the whole fucking world fucked me off and left me for dead, leaving me with nobody to talk to except for my parents and random strangers that I would run into, it was clear that my organism needed more company because I generally didn't have any to talk to. And then the people who I wanted to talk to, it was awkward because they didn't want to tell me things that they thought, and I was really unhappy. And that wasn't something I was laying into. I generally didn't know what happened at all. And on top of that, I had been exposed to a initiatory experience that was one that was planned by others, but it didn't work out the way they thought. I was supposed to have traumatic courtship experiences because they didn't want me to be able to seduce women with a single glance. I can do that now. For one thing, I don't want to seduce somebody unless it's appropriate to do so. I mean, I'm not a skirt chaser. I don't care if it doesn't work. A lot of times, a woman won't want to have a relationship for longer than 10 minutes. That would be fine with me. 10 minutes is probably as long as the first one should have been. And get this, when she did her thing, I thought it was just her. No, it was a whole fucking cavalcade of boardroom meetings, which is actually really flattering. And I really thank all of them for doing that, as well as doing it wrong, because now the turkeys have come home to the roost. My hand to God, I had no idea what I was getting into. Okay, somebody told me about Art Bell around the time of the satellite losing Earthlock. I heard the story. I found the website where they had the recording. I listened to that and I thought, how did they fake this? Because I automatically knew that it's radio. Have you listened to the War of the Worlds? It's fake. Have you listened to anything on the radio? It's fake. Earlier tonight, I turned on the other radio. I've got a radio. I'm that desperate. And I hear a guy that I know acting like he's not himself because he's got that voice coder software. I know he's government. If you're government and you have a reason to do so, you learn to use that software and you hide your identity when you get online and talk about shit. Because sometimes people are dudes who have arrested people, like thrown them into the mud and put their knees in the small of their back and handcuffed them and said, "Settle down, you're going to jail." Some people are like that. I respect that circumstance. I've got enemies myself. I haven't done shit besides, win encounters against people before I even get to the field of battle because I'm a student of Sun Tzu and I'm really smart. Nothing wrong with that. And, well, to me. But some people who have decided to array themselves against my forces that they didn't even know I had. Hey, look at that fat kid over there. I bet he'd be easy to take advantage of. Let's push him around. Yeah, let's. Yeah. I don't want to have a fight. I don't want to create conflict. If one starts, I will fucking finish it. But I don't have to. This has made me fairly admirable to most people because it's real. I'm a nice person. Don't start shit with me for no reason and expect nothing. I mean, people used to got the wrong idea that I was, easy to tease, easy to bully. Maybe they thought that because of what happened with What's Her Nuts, sorry, I deserved some negative attention. Oh, like Scott Powell, dude. Do you have a daughter? I won't date her. Yeah. And since I've said your name twice now on the internet, and I don't give a fuck what are you gonna do about it, I think you can tell that I'm not scared of you, and I'm not trying to boast or anything. I'm like, actually, I think you're probably dead, and if you're not, like, so what? So I said your name, big deal. I used to be terrified of this guy. Well, not really terrified of him. I was embarrassed. I didn't know what to do. I knew that one day it would be reversal. For whatever reason, he thought it was appropriate to treat me that way. And it might have been because he sure as shit taught me how to fucking fight back. But not really fight back, more like resist. Anyway, I don't hold grudges against any of these people. Years before now, before Art Bell, really, before a friend from high school told me about Art Bell, I never would have run into Art Bell otherwise, unless I just happened across the radio station and listened to it, and then decided to keep on listening every night. That never would have happened if my friend from high school hadn't told me about Art Bell. Because when I think of Art Bell, I think of my friend from high school. And that one was friends with my other friend from high school. And that one was friends with the other friend. And then there's that one, and that one, and that one. There was all a clique. Well, most schools will have cliques. In my case, it was every single other person was in the cool kids group. I was automatically not cool. A lot of people figured I fucked things up on purpose. They thought that I was ungrateful, and they were right. I did not fuck up anything on purpose, except there was a plan to take my semen and make a baby with it without asking me first or even letting me know. Now, I can see why it would be a good training protocol for certain select individuals to engage in that. I'm going to leave the matter lie for the time being. I don't know if there are any children out there that have been spawned by my baby batter. I don't know. I don't care. If there is one or more, and they're not coming to visit me, well, then maybe they don't know I exist. Maybe that's okay. I don't know. If somebody has gone to the amount of trouble it takes to make a baby and feed it and shit, and is still alive now, and that person has bankrolled the operation, and they haven't introduced me to my child, then they probably don't want me to meet them, right? And they probably can handle all that medical record shit. I would never have thought in a million years that it could be possibly that complicated. But then I had the experience of 2 women drugging me and putting me into a state of semi-consciousness where I couldn't resist and didn't care because I got to fuck 2 women that I never got to fuck before very often. It was a dream. Yeah, right. God, she came really fast. Yeah, sorry. I'm not supposed to remember what they do because they're magical lesbiana women on another plane of reality that do shitloads of drugs and wanted to assert their dominance over me. And they did, they thought. I remember, I remember right now. Yeah. Hi. Yeah, so I've had sex with that woman on multiple levels. And I wasn't craving that. I got it was hard to get over the experience. Hard. However, I would say that I'm clearly over it now because the experience of getting over it wasn't her. Shit, no, I don't need to get over her. There's nothing wrong with her. I like her. I was no longer allowed to hang out with her because I was perceived by her peer group as a huge waste of time that was getting in the way of the very important business they had of trying to get in her pants. And to be fair, she has pants that needed to get gotten into. For her to like hover around me like a weird mother goose, putting her wings over me protectively after she broke me. Yeah, she didn't have to. She couldn't. Okay. No. She did make some attempts. And she also said some really cranky things. I do that too. I remember lots of times I was upset and unhappy and I was taking my frustrations out on others. That's what people do. It's a sad thing. And I was glad to know that by the time I figured out that she was still around, I was way over it. Way over it. Especially when I found out that somebody had decided to deliberately lie about the issue. That's okay too, honestly. I did say, hey, there's special consequences. I'm a divinely ordained magical being. And she's like, ha, yeah, right. I am. What? You got fucking Nancy Pelosi. She's a goddamn coven witch, right? Yeah, everybody says so. Yeah, there's real ones. There's all kinds of stuff. I happen to be who I am, and the notion that I can't prove it and can't convince people, I don't give a fuck. I gathered people were going to the Art Bell show coast to coast because they wanted to sell books. They wanted to convince people. They wanted to spread their message. Not me. I just wanted to get in their pants. I figured someday it would eventually be something. and I never planned on looking for her. Right? I didn't want to hide. I didn't have anything to hide. Well, that's not true. I had things to hide until 2013, right? 2012. Other things seemed more important. That woman doxed me. That changed my perspective on a lot of things. What was more important? Oh, the car crash. I saw her once after the car crash. I remember sitting at the table, breakfast table, and she said words that were close to what an investigator for an insurance company would say. Because that's who I thought that person was. Because her mother worked in insurance, and I went to the building where her mother worked a couple times, 3 times. I loved her mother. I still do. I love that woman. I was sad that I didn't get to hang around her anymore after I had to go. And I did, because I was fucked up. And what fucked me up was a bunch of her friends, or peer group, relentlessly teasing me on an access of experience that I wasn't. It wasn't that I wasn't prepared for. Well, actually, I was prepared for it. I just didn't know that would happen. I couldn't make the kinds of neurotransmitters that a brain needs to put up with that kind of fucking bullshit where a woman fucking doesn't fucking tell me what the fuck she's doing and expects that's gonna fucking work. And she didn't have to do any of that the way. She was absolutely pressured through a number of factors by people at school, including teachers. She was told things that weren't true about me, and then she behaved in ways that she expected to get results. And the results that she got were that, to this day, she has yet to figure out what she's been seeing. Because it's not so much that I haven't told her, and she hasn't told me, it's just it didn't make sense. I sort of have a glimmering of understanding. And then I have a deeper awareness that whatever the fuck happened, it was absolutely worth it. I don't know what the fuck she is in life. I know that I have it on reasonably good authority that there are 191 copies of various versions of her that have been copied throughout space and time. A lot of people have different versions themselves. She has a lot, and I don't know why exactly it is, but I do know that I never killed myself over her. I never killed myself on purpose. I have died a shitload now. I don't care for it. However, I'm relieved to say that when I wake up, I'm still alive, and it's an approximation of where I was before. I'm a Virgo is rising. Virgo's a solitary sign, the hermit. I'm living in a haunted church. It's like I'm dead. It's really convenient. If I want to hide from people, I can just play dead. Easy to do when there's no friends. My parents are dead. The people that I really like in life are the kind of people who understand that sometimes a person has to be removed and sent away to another continent to hide from somebody that pissed off. I guess they could say this woman had to suddenly flee an entire continent for some reason, and she had to call her mother and say, "Mom, I want to come live there in Seattle." Out of nowhere. And I heard the story from her mother. I swear to God, I love that woman more than her. Okay, but she's dead. I don't think about these people often, but they have been pivotal in my life. I'm talking about them now because, there's been some stuff happening. Oh my goodness gracious! Let's just say these women have never forgotten me. I got a Christmas card from her mother. One of the reasons why I wanted to have a conversation was to say things like, "Hey, what's the code name I can talk about your mother if I get on the air? I want to talk about I want to talk about anything, and then I want to be able to refer to that woman, her mother, as somebody who is like a character, but I don't want to embarrass her. And then I don't trust my telepathy or my ability to talk to the dead. I don't have that. I can't summon the dead. Her mother doesn't want to talk to me that way. She thinks it's creepy. I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all. And I have yet to show or even talk about it much. The the card that her mother sent me, her mother sent me photos of her daughter. And at the time, her daughter sure wasn't talking to me and didn't appear to have any plans to. And well, I can't rightly say that she's not my type, but the photo she sent me was taken in the 90s. Okay, I might know what she looks like, or I might know what she looked like 2 years ago. Maybe. It depends on. Well, I have no fucking idea if she was here on Christmas or not. And then I don't know where she's now. I'm not trying to find her. I do want to know what she looks like. No, okay. I know what she looks like because I had a dream where she fucked me. Allison drugged me. I'm in the bed. This bed here. They wanted my baby batter. They did some kind of spell in the dream. I would have preferred to have longer sex. However, I don't know what the fuck the reality is. I do know that I was lied to by somebody 5 times. Which, I don't know about you, that's some special consequences. Hey, have you heard from this person? Silence. Did you not hear me? Am I dead? Am I a ghost? Am I dead? No, I wasn't fucking dead yet. She didn't want to answer because she probably had some of her fucking pubes stuck in her teeth. No problem with that. Well, I mean, that's kind of a gross image, but like literally, when I first met Allison, I hadn't seen. I don't want to insult her. Tora, I don't want to insult you. I don't know what to call you. I haven't had a conversation with you since breakfast, and I don't give a fuck if she's like pretending to be one of these. Well, pretending she is. She's gotta be somebody. She's somewhere. I don't know. I no longer see the one that I identified her on. When I suddenly thought to myself, well, why am I wearing for? Why do I wait for grapefruit? Why am I waiting for? Why do I need Allison to be able to talk to me again in order to find out where the other one is? Because okay, so emergency, no contact. Okay, so there's one name. I don't see a no contact order for the other one. So why isn't that one getting a hold of me? That's strange. Why doesn't she respond to my emails? Why doesn't she pick up the phone? Why? Okay. I have since discovered both a few of the whys as well as enough information to let me know that it's none of my business. None. That woman, she's made a lot of enemies. That doesn't surprise me at all. Her mother did the same thing. She told me that she had gotten on the bad side of the insurance industry boys in Texas. And I met Allison, and she told me about how there was a guy in Texas who was stalking her, and that the other one had to report a man for being a peeping Tom into the window who was staring at her while she was doing laundry, and the guy was masturbating. And she saw this, and she was like, "Ew," which is fucking creepy. And I thought to myself, oh yes, she's probably not going to be into having a lot of sex, but she will later, because, I never did that. I never peeped on her. I never stole her underwear. I never forced myself on her. Awkward, because that's something that she wanted me to do because she was trained to do that. Why this happens in the past, I don't know. I don't hear about it happening much more because I've kind of made my stance on this kind of thing known. I'm not big on human trafficking. I'm not. However, if a person was going to take a human, clearly those are the two best around, especially if you want covert military assets that can kick your ass. So I was kind of puzzled why all this PTSD was happening and prison going back. And it's not like it's not like. Okay, so I don't know what the deal is entirely, but they've had some bad experiences without me. And I guess they didn't realize until later that I would be useful in ways other than as either bait or a target. Okay, since it turns out I kind of saved their lives and got rid of them. Usually, usually they kill the man. See, the MK Ultra protocol is that the government controls what their assets do, and if the asset falls in love with a nice person, they want to settle down and bake cookies and sing Kumbaya and host a bake sale. The military that owns their asses sends in coverts to break that up. That happens all the time. Today, it's normal. When it first started happening, I was like, how dare they do that? Why? What gives them the right? Well, the U.S. Military Code of Justice and the fact that if the U.S. military didn't do it, somebody would. They're hot. There's a lot of hot women in the world. Oh my God. Women that I have found attractive. I still do. And I don't doubt that they would still be attractive if I ran into them. And I further don't doubt that because of reasons, most of them would think it creepy if I started calling around and asking, saying, "Hi, I'm Michael Cousy. You remember me?" Yeah, they remember me. That's partially the issue. They don't know me presently. They remember what happened from their experience, and they can think, "Oh my God, I can't talk to him." Click. And the reason why is because I'm hers on many levels. I need to tell her certain things that have happened. She doesn't know. Nobody knows. I didn't talk to Grapefruit about it. I don't know which one is Grapefruit. Yeah. I don't know how many grapefruits there were or are, and then how the fuck this woman got wrapped up in this shit. Well, I suspect that I was a gift from her husband, which completely makes sense to me. One of the women had a father who needed help to rescue her sister. I totally did this. Don't ask me how. I was communicated with on the astral plane and told the basic gist, and then it didn't become awareness to me in conscious mode. I don't always remember my dreams, but I didn't meet that sister. I didn't meet the sister for years. She and I don't associate because I'm smart, and she's afraid of talking to me because she thinks I'll see right through her like a windshield staring at the bug. She's goddamn right. I'm fucking smart. Yeah, and then it's awkward because as much as she likes the fact that I was nice with her sister, we must note that I'm not hanging around with her sister now. And the idea that I was helping her sister was predicated upon the idea that I was going to shut up, sit down, be easily manageable, give them all of my money, and be happy and content to fuck her for a while and then be killed, where they would take everything and then move on with life. This is the Algonquin way. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say Algonquin anymore. I don't know how to disrespect anybody any more than I have disrespected the sister, because rather than be excited and delighted to choose between girlfriend from high school and the sister, rather than do that, I decided to bail on whatever fucking birthday party they were planning on having and spend a day and a half away from home doing shitloads of speed. I wasn't really. But being on some at all, I was high as fuck. Not so high that I couldn't drive, but I was so high that if I'd come here, she would have been like, "Well, where's mine?" And I would have been like, "Fuck you! You don't get any. Oh, it's your birthday? Fuck off." Yeah, it was like that. I don't like getting lied to. And then I didn't ask for speed. Somebody dosed me, let's say. Somebody gave me some that was not the kind that makes your dick really hard so you can seduce women. No. This guy was not on my side, let's say. Okay. And I had not been informed that he existed. Right? I don't like that. I don't know. No, I don't. It seemed awfully reminiscent of what had happened in high school with the same person, who at the time I didn't know was there, and I still don't know. I have no idea for certain where that woman was on December 19th of 2021. Jesus Christ. A year and 8 months ago, I had to go to jail because they fucked themselves up so much that they didn't know what to do other than to set me up to go to prison. And then they did all that while pretending they weren't. And when called on it, they lied to me, or one lied to me. I don't know. And they also thought it would work, and they didn't realize that there would be whatever fucking problem they had before. Oh, you got a new problem now. Oh, yeah. I don't give a shit what the fuck. Okay, I really don't care what the fuck was going on. I really don't. I guess they thought that a big problem was that I was going to find out and be mad and then expect to be included, and they didn't know how to turn me down. These women are very fond of themselves, and they should be. Nobody would have known, especially not them, since they didn't talk to about the subject. If they had asked and said, "Hey, you want to have sex with this?" I would have been like, "No, you're good." And I probably wouldn't have been rude about it. But after 5 goddamn years of them, sneaking around, to find out and say, "Hey, I got something to tell you." Well, I don't know. Would they tell me that she just dropped in out of a portal and they just met, or would they tell me, "Well, we've been secretly the whole time, and then we didn't decide to tell you because we thought you couldn't." Yeah, I can see how it would have been an issue. And now I remember when I first met Misha, I can see exactly why certain things happened the way they did. And honestly, I think it's really romantic because I loved it. I don't have any compunctions at all about those two knowing each other. I pray to God they live together happily ever, or whatever the fuck they do. I hope that they're happy, both with each other and themselves and me. And they could fucking go out and screw the whole Mormon Tabernacle Choir without inviting me. That's fine. I'm not the jealous type. I'm really not. And I can see how a person who is relentlessly self-absorbed and completely out of touch with reality would assume that I would have been jealous or envious or wanting to get in on that. No, because that's Totsles. Totsles is very they don't switch to dick take they don't take dick often. No. And whatever the fuck the deal was, whether she was lying about it or whether there's multiple Tammys. There's a bi, there's a this, there's a that. There's different flavors of Tammy on offer because I don't have a family. I don't have very many people on Earth at all, on any of the Earths that know me. Shifting from one dimension to another, it's not that hard when you don't have any baggage. Like, I don't have to convince me, okay, hi, are you, you're slightly different, so your address is different? Okay, that makes sense because that's how it works. But I'm a guy that you've never talked to before, but you sound just like my friend Doug, and now your name's Diana, and you got tits that I want to suck on. So I'll be right there. What's your new address? Like, that doesn't work. It does not. And I would not want to do that anyway. I'm not a sex-obsessed freak, which is too bad, honestly. Maybe in the future when I'm no longer waiting to be exonerated at trial, maybe I'll feel better then, because presently I feel kind of nervous about the way whatever the fuck they thought they were going to do to me, I handed them their ass, fucked up all their shit, and they thought they were in charge. Fuck you, niggers. Okay, sorry. Fuck you, gingers. I'm sure this is taking the breath away from a lot of people. Nobody really thought I could do anything. And they don't even know what I did. They don't even know. I could boast a lot. Oh, God, the story. I gently lowered her to the bathroom floor and then straddled her breastbone and rubbed my completely flaccid penis against her breasts while I held her impotently waving fists as she wounded down from her panic attack. This is not a sad story. She was going to get killed. I gently fucking saved her life. She should be very happy. She didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't her fault. Number one, not her fault. Number two, it makes sense that she would have wigged out because she had never been told that a man like me could exist. I answered every fucking thing that she did to me with a better move and better success. And she used to be the tippity top motherfucker around. Nobody fucked with her. And if they did, they got sat down. And she and her brother were like that. And she ruled the territory with an iron fist. The whole family. Generations. I totally turned their shit upside down and inside out. By myself. Just me. Didn't want to. Had to. I am sure there's plenty of good reasons not to call me. I don't doubt that she's more afraid of me than I am of her. And I'm plenty afraid of her. And I don't even know if that was her on the phone. Sure sounded like her. And then I said something stupid and hung up. Like, what the fuck? I mean, that's a good way to not have a friendship with somebody. I'll probably be able to recover from it because she did the same thing several times. It wasn't tit for tat. I literally couldn't get my brain went haywire. I've heard that this happens with people who are karmically linked and on competing reality matrices and have a twin flame connection and aren't, and yeah, it can happen. Frankly, I think it's flattering. I'd love to see her. She's not calling. I don't know her number. I called the other day. I've called that woman plenty. She doesn't need to see in a hurry. There's no change ever going to happen. I'll see her when I see her. And I guess she's busy with, I guess there's a murder and a bunch of tax fraud and this and that and the other. And then I revealed to the, oh God. All right, well, let's just say they had unintended consequences that were very special after lying to me a lot. I didn't intend that. And I don't think that it's bad. I don't think God gives us challenges that we can't handle ourselves. So that's why those two together should have no problems if they're, if they can support each other, and they have kids and family, and the Hall of Justice is running through every friend they ever got and asking questions. And I told them about my situation, and then rather than help me, they decided to just take it and leave me fucked off to die, and have now discovered why that's not a good thing to do to, well, me, and number two, to somebody who loves you, because it's bad karma. I literally think that neither of them have been able to understand what unconditional love is until now. Now I'm sure they do. They both have kids, from what I heard. A mother's love for a child is basically unconditional. It's a little different when it's a person that you've never had sex with and don't need to in order to feel any better. If she showed up here and said, "Oh my God, please fuck me," I mean, okay, that's not likely to happen. If it did, well, it did actually happen. She was sent back from the future in heaven where she's dead, and she was in Archangel Metatron's clone body, and the combination of half of her soul with Metatron pressing the others from the... Okay, so everybody has a twin karmically linked... No, not karmically... there's a reverse... there's a timeline that's the mirror image of the one that you're on now, where time runs backwards, and everything's backwards. And it doesn't make sense to a human because your brain doesn't go that way. But your body doesn't matter. And then it's not your body, it's your twin body. And at the same time you go through life, the exact version of events that happens tomorrow happens beneath you in reverse, because that's the version that's in 3D reality. What creates the version that is able to be copied is your experience when you live in it the next day in time. And that is able to be reflected because that's how time is structured in the creation matrix. I did a fairly okay job of describing that. If I ever hear any of you fucking cunty little bitches, and I don't mean those two, I mean the ones on the YouTube that are talking about things, on the panels. If I'm ever in person and I hear you say things like, "Oh, you crazy. Do you think he may be bipolar?" Look, I've heard enough. I'm not bipolar. It reminds me of Wilhelm Reich. It reminds me of Tesla. It reminds me of, I don't need a fucking pedophile cartoonist to fucking give me shit about my goddamn life when he doesn't know anything about it. I don't. I don't need to be reminded that certain things were fucked up. I don't need an apology. Let's see, what we got here? Oh, see, I went to Belgap with I just call it all collectively Belgap. Here we have exposing Jackstar, MIA. Okay, so he's got a whole thread where I get exposed. He's mentioning that, exposing, because I've been, he thinks, subjected to a circumstance that's going to give me HIV/AIDS. I'm not certain why he's so certain that that's going to happen. But I'd like to point out that I haven't had sex with more than 2 different people in like 7 years. So did I get it from a dirty toilet seat? No. I heard a rumor that What's-Her-Nuts has that and has to take those pills in order to keep it suppressed and doesn't want people to know and doesn't want to tell me because she thinks that if she told me, I would never have sex with her again. And I know that that's the experience that she must be having about that because when I found out that I had been exposed to herpes, the only thing I gave a shit about was whether or not that would preclude me from having sex with her. She was the only person I knew that I wanted to have sex with if I could, but I also didn't care enough to chase after her because I didn't think I could, and then she didn't want to be friends with me, so I clearly figured that she would one day grow up. Getting there, I think. But if the situation was that she wanted to make sure that if she wanted to ensure that I had the same thing she did, and I didn't know that it came from her, she almost succeeded. Because let's say I've got something, and then she finally calls and says, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'll be like, "I'm fine. Hi. Where's your blood test?" If that happens, I mean, she's pretty smart. And then on top of that, it was a dream, but I was drugged by her friend, and then I was not hankering and crying for that woman to come back at all. I met Allison, and I love Allison, and for a while I didn't understand at all what was happening. But she did say that she knew who she was, and she had admitted to talking to her. And then I wrote an email, and I got a reply back that was ostensibly from the other one. And that would have been the time to say, "Oh, by the way, we're fucking." Right? If they wanted to tell me that. It was perfectly all right for them to keep that a secret. I probably shouldn't be talking on my podcast. It's a debrief. It doesn't matter. I'm proud of them. They should know that I'm not concerned. And believe me, I don't need to have both at once. I would choose maybe the daughter. I don't know, or the sister. Who are they? What do they look like? I have no idea. None. I have no clue. But I know how I feel. It's great.
Shall we? What?